and welcome to today's TED Talk about poverty reduction. Today we'll be going over the introduction of the definition, the history, the importance, steps to a solution, and what I have done to personally affect poverty reduction. So, what is poverty? We always ask ourselves, what is the importance of it and what is it? Poverty is basically being in the lower class and not reaching a minimum wage average, like the middle class or higher class. It could also mean that you don't have the correct resources to get access to, like food and money and jobs specifically. Now, let's jump into the history. The history of poverty. Now, when did it start? When did it end? Personally, I feel like poverty was a great deal during the Great Depression in 1929, which went all the way through the 1930s. The Great Depression was when the stock markets crashed and caused a huge rate of unemployment to increase. Now, you say 1929 to 1930s, that's an incredible year gap that caused a lot of debt for our country. Now, in 2019, the poverty rate was 10.9%, but it decreased 4.3% since 2014. Now, when you say, why are we focusing on poverty reduction if it's already decreasing? Well, I think even if it's decreasing, poverty is still going to be there regardless of it decreasing by 4.3%. And if it increases again, that could cause a rift in our government and also our country in itself. Now, you say, why is it important, or why is it important to me? The importance of poverty is to advocate for it in a way that makes people educated about poverty. Not many people think it's a real issue nowadays, but in reality it is. It's important to me due to the fact that I've lived in poverty during my childhood, and it can also affect the way you look at the world when you grow up, just like I am right now, being an advocate for poverty reduction. So let's take a step back and talk about what could we do as a community or as yourself to reduce poverty. Personally, I feel that food pantries are a great way for accessible food, just like food deserts are. A way that are happening all around us. Food deserts are pretty common nowadays, where people can't have access to food. So those food pantries are really astonishing when it comes to that. I think free housing or some sort of housing to reduce the homelessness rates on the streets, and just providing a roof over someone's head will make everyone thankful for you. Also, I think a community fundraiser would be an awesome way to advocate poverty and to reduce it. And you can always give that fundraiser money to the housing just to pay for their rent or just a grocery bill. Now, last few weeks ago, we met with a U.S. Studies teacher that I interviewed, and he talked about the governmental aspects of poverty reduction. And he put a great insight that the government needs to do a little more for poverty. Maybe dust off the dusty book and start jumping back into it. And honestly, the government can do many things to reduce poverty, but I think the country is just so in debt that you don't realize it. And so now we get into the personal solution that I think would fit best for this, but also some stuff that I have done. So the steps that I feel that would be a great way would be the fundraisers and also the food pantries. Also, creating a community to reach out to for this sort of thing we always need. We always need a helping hand. So a personal solution is basically I have done many things through the National Art Honor Society and also as a service scholar. For National Honor Society, I have presented food baskets for families who cannot afford Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. I have also provided a backpack program for those who couldn't afford school supplies. And with this, everyone's always thankful for what you give to them, and I think that's the greatest feeling that you can have. And overall, I think poverty reduction should be focused on a little more, and I hope that this TED Talk is really eye-opening to you and that you would understand that it is really a growing issue that is rampaging our country and even other third world countries. And overall, I think if we all advocate, it will all bring us together. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today.